If you are a parent, any of these scenarios feel familiar? You're expecting guests, and you instruct your child to take some items away from the guest area. Now, sure enough, they take away an item or two, but never come back to take the other items away. And this attitude is somewhat repetitive. Same child is the reason why school teachers often communicate with you about assignments not turned in, projects not completed, or low test scores. And you get frustrated because you constantly remind your child about the importance of hard work. And then there's a scenario of your child's teacher constantly reaching out to you because your child is being disruptive in class, distracting other kids, and being uncooperative with other kids. Now, do these scenarios resonate with you? Now, with these traits observed over a long period of time, there's a strong tendency this child has been labeled as forgetful, lazy, unintelligent, restless, stubborn, and even more. However, these exemplified traits are notable with individuals having a condition in which the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that is the CDC, has in its estimates 6 million children between ages 3 and 17 in the US suffer. I'm talking about attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and it is likely a child with such attributes has this condition. Hi, I'm Dr. Francisca Osage, and thank you for joining me on Francisca on Health Matters. ADHD is manageable with the right medication. Unfortunately, in many parts of the world, these traits fail to gain recognition as a medical condition, and children having this condition grow up into adults with ADHD and having faced a lot of challenges emerge with problems such as low self esteem and rebellion. The condition of ADHD comes in three subvarieties. That's the variety in which the individual is predominantly inattentive. There's a variety in which the individual is overly hyperactive. And in the third variety, both traits of inattentiveness and hyperactivity are manifested. Now, these traits are the predominant. Diagnosis is based on the pervasive nature of these traits, in addition to other character traits which over time have been noticed to affect the individual's productivity. It's also important to note that the manifestations of these traits are not in isolation to any particular environment. Therefore, if a child exhibits such problems at school, such as being very restless, inattentive, not organized, however, at home, same child is found to be very settled and calm, maintains a tidied environment, is very organized without constant parental intervention. The problem might just be situational, and elements around that environment might just need to be assessed. Though this condition is not uncommon worldwide, I would argue the reported prevalence of these conditions varies across different regions. For instance, in some cultures, a child educator is most likely to call on the attention of a parent or guardian regarding the academic performance of a given child. In some other cultures, the need to call on the attention of a parent or guardian is dismissed as assumptions regarding the traits being exhibited by this child might be made, and hence the need for direct intervention is overlooked. With ADHD or manifestations of such traits, it is important for a parent who has the primary responsibility for the child to have a high level of suspicion until proven otherwise. Thus, pay attention to these manifestations, especially if six or more symptoms are present in each category. For the category in which inattention is the predominant, number one, being forgetful, two, regular habits of losing things, three, easily distracted by external environment, especially when focus is needed, four, making careless mistakes, five, seeming not listening or paying attention when spoken to, six, often failing to follow instructions or directions, seven, avoids tasks requiring a lot of mental effort, 8. Having difficulty focusing one's attention on tasks or play. For the category in which hyperactivity is the predominant, number 1. Excessive talking. 2. Easily fidgeting or moving aimlessly. 3. Difficulty playing quietly. 4. Can't remain seated quietly. 5. Running. For little children, climbing. 6. Often restless. And 7. Lack of impulse control, such as interrupting others or not waiting for one's turn. It's important to note that brain studies have demonstrated structural changes in neuronal activities that are present in individuals with ADHD that are significantly not present in individuals with no ADHD. These structural changes involve decreased activities in certain areas of the brain, which includes the prefrontal cortex, the limbic system, the basal ganglia, and reticular activating system. In these areas, they were found to be reduced activities involving networking and coordinating, activities driven by neurotransmitters dopamine and norepinephrine. Now, these areas of the brain are known to be associated with attention, emotions, regulation and coordination of motor activities, regulation of emotions, and impulse control, hence the manifestations of symptoms associated with ADHD. Management is thus centered on regulating the neurotransmitters dopamine and norepinephrine. They are the use of stimulant medications with the aim to augment these neurotransmitters dopamine and or norepinephrine. And here in the US, we have examples such as Adderall, Ritalin, Vyvanse. There are other drugs or medications such as Strattera and Tenex, and the choice of the medication is at the discretion of the child psychiatrist or the pediatrician. And these medications have been found to significantly improve symptoms. It is important to note that children with ADHD go on to become adults with ADHD. However, adults who were never diagnosed with ADHD as children go on that route and unfortunately face challenges at workplaces and interpersonal relationships. Therefore, awareness is key and goes a long way in dealing with these challenges, especially as options are available that help to control impulses through not only medications but also behavioral interventions. It is also important to note that it is not unusual for individuals who have ADHD to have other coexisting conditions such as anxiety or certain other behavioral conditions. Therefore, a professional intervention is highly recommended. Again, I hope you found this informative and educative. And if you have, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.